the simple muscle building diet. For this video, I want you to turn your brain off because currently your brain is overworking itself and you have all this information in your mind about all these things that you need to learn, and you need to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and all of this junk needs to be stopped, and I need to eat eggs in the morning, and I need to do this and I need to do that. And there's so much things in your brain that your brain is literally, it's in information overdose, and because of this you keep going back to the junk food because you're just like, some days I'm going to be locked in, and then other days, fuck it, like, oh, this is too much, and let me just enjoy my life. Like, I won't be able to enjoy my life. Guys, I understand, like, it's not going to be fucking easy, and a muscle building diet is something that you need to focus on in the long term. It's not something you focus on in the short term. So yes, all your instant gratification vices like sweets, chocolates, cake, I'm not telling you to stop all these things. Like, I'm literally not saying, I'm not sitting here and saying you must only eat meat and eggs every single day. What I will say is that if you want to achieve, or if you want to get faster results, yes, you would have to be more stricter. If you want to focus more on the long term, then following the 80-20 rule, where 80% of the foods that you eat are healthy and 20% can be like leeway, then you will still achieve the same desired results. It will just take a little bit longer. So if you want fast results, just expect that you will have to cut down on more things. It's as simple as that. Like, if you want the easiest muscle building diet, literally stay strict on your diet, as strict as possible, and just stay as consistent as possible. Literally don't, everything, 100% of your meals should just be mainly, primarily healthy foods, whole grain foods, whole foods, and literally just maxing out on protein. That's literally, if you want to like see fast results, that's literally it. You don't need to pay for no guides now. You don't need to like watch 100,000 videos. That if your aim is to get fast results in a muscle building diet, literally just stop all the junk food, drink water, like 3 to 4 liters of water every single day, cut down on the sugars, and also follow a fat loss guide where you just literally reduce the amount of fats and carbs you eat, and you just max out on proteins. You will literally bulk up fast. Obviously, you need to pair that with going to the gym, doing some low intensity cardio like walking, doing like 30 minutes of walking, or aim for like 10,000 steps every single day. If you just literally do those 3 things, where you just max out on protein, stay consistent on that, eat as clean as possible, so no seed oils, no like sugary foods, or like just processed junk food, no junk food, and like no fizzy drinks or like over processed drinks, anything that's just processed. I know most things are processed these days. Don't be some smart guy like, oh, but Paul, like, water's made in a lab as well. So like, okay, we understand most things are made in a lab. Most things are literally like, nothing's healthy anymore. Like, even the meats we eat, every single thing we eat is to some form processed. Yes, I understand this, but like, the less processed it is, the less process it goes through, the better. So obviously, like, things like butchered meat, like, that's literally, if you just buy raw butchered meat, if you buy like beef from the butchers and you tell them to dice it, that's like the least processing made. And then if you just come home and grill it and don't add too many things, that is the least processing made. Obviously now, if you go buy like pre-made beef with all the other bullshit that they put inside it, it's probably been like through a whole you don't even know where that meat came from in the beginning, and it's gone through so much processing. So things in a packet, obviously avoid those things. But like I said, the simplest way to build muscle with your diet is firstly to just focus on implementing one strategy at a time. So don't focus on everything at the same time, because you will fail. If you're someone that's already organized, and I'm not speaking from experience because I'm not someone that's organized. I need like to focus on one thing and then move on to the next thing once I've developed the discipline in that one area. If not, I will literally completely just go back to square zero. It's just like, when you're trying to improve yourself, or like self-improvement, you need to start off with mental health first, because if your mental health's in a bad state, then you won't be able to, maybe that's what you need. Maybe you need to improve your mental health, and this is the reason you can't like stay consistent on a muscle building diet, or this is the reason you just keep changing every second. And yeah, maybe you just need to improve your mental health. That could actually be the root fix to building a muscle diet for you. But to keep things as simple as possible, literally just focus on eating as much proteins as possible, and then you can start working on adding in like fruits and vegetables, other things like Greek yogurt, but just focus on eating as much proteins as possible, primarily like nuts, Greek yogurt, and meats and eggs also. Very good protein sources, probably the best chicken as well. So chicken is a meat, chicken, beef, salmon, you name it, all types of meats are good for you. And the less processing, the better. Stick to water, drink as much water as possible to hydrate your body. Try not to drink 30 minutes before and after a meal so that your body can digest the foods properly, and stick to eating the same meals every single day. It's as simple as that. Like, I know I'm repeating myself here, but I think sometimes I just need to drill certain things back to home. And like, I'm talking about a lot of things that are like very basic. We kind of like forget the basics sometimes, and then once we start working on the basics, we actually start seeing results. So if you want to actually start seeing results in the simplest way possible, eat more protein, stay consistent with your diet, and cut down on junk food. It's as simple as that. And if you overcomplicate things, it will only get harder for you, and you'll just put yourself in a rut. So the second thing I want to say is that definitely staying consistent will be your next battle. So obviously you can do all the hard work for 1 week, for 2 weeks, but staying consistent over a longer period of time will be the hardest thing, because next month you might want to be on a diet that involves you shredding and losing weight or losing muscle. I don't know, like everyone is like very emotional these days, where they just follow their emotions, and like 1 minute they feel like they're skinny and they need to put on some weight, and they don't want to put on just fat, so they want to be on a muscle building diet, and hello, I'm here now. And then next minute they don't need pull anymore, and they want to follow something that gets them lean and skinny. So stay consistent, like literally just develop a mindset where you want to stick to the same thing routinely, and try to do this for a year. Once you've done that for like a year, then you can say, okay, I've seen the results after a year. Like, you can still shred with a muscle building diet. Muscle building diet is probably the best diet you will ever see. I don't see it like getting any worse in the next 10, 20, 30 years. Like, there's not going to be a new diet that, like, God's not just going to start like spawning new plants. Do you get it? So it's just like a thing where the best diet you can be on is eating meats. Like, if you think about it, even back in the day, like when our ancestors, all the kings and queens, they used to eat like a lot of meats, whilst all the slaves and all the peasants, they used to just eat grains and like bread and carbohydrates. And that used to just literally fuel them to keep working, whilst the kings and queens would eat like meats and stuff like that, like really strong protein sources. Well, I don't know where I was going with that, but it just goes to show that like meats are like the highest quality of form of food. And then obviously as you go lower down in the ranking, it goes like carbs and like bread, stuff like that. These are just like peasant food, like bread and stuff like that. These are just for peasants. But obviously I'm not like trying to shame carbs and like bread and stuff like that. Breads are good for you, whole grain breads, especially if they're seeded, and they actually help you to fuel your workout. So definitely, like the other day, I literally had some bread to fuel my workout before football, and I ended up scoring more goals. And I just wanted to try it out, and it works. So yeah, definitely fuel your workouts with carbohydrates pre and post workout, and then in the morning just have like focus on more proteins and fats. In the afternoon, if you're gonna work out, or you have a workout, pre-workout, carbohydrates. So just healthy carbs, bread, whatever. I used to chat shit about bread. You know what? If you want to eat bread, that's fine. Just don't eat too much bread, and don't make like carbs your main source of like fuel or food. Yes, you can use carbs to as a pre-workout. Just use it as just have a snack portion amount just to fuel you for that workout. And then when you come home, you have a proper meal with like healthier carbs, like sweet potatoes, etc., etc. You get what I mean? Like rice, also quinoa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. So Hopefully, I've simplified the muscle building diet for you. I hope I haven't made it more complicated. If you need more help to fast track your fitness in your diet, then definitely join the link in my school community. Take care, guys. See you guys in the next one.